by Zoom. Thanks for joining me on a Sunday night. We are here for Dream Challenge Day 3. So day 1, we spoke about a winning mindset, essentially, and how we have all grown to know fear, essentially, and how over the years we might have picked up some mindsets that were not helpful, and we can change these things. So it's actually something I wrote down that was very striking. So I wrote down that actually all of these new affirmations and all of these new beliefs, they're actually not new. We've actually been that way all the while. We just forgot because life kicked us in the butt and we forgot. And it's not actually that they are new. We're just remembering who we really are. And that is significant, isn't it? So we talked about mindset day 1. And then yesterday we went to talk about money mindsets. And then we talked about different ways of making money and multiple strategies for how we can. We talked about charging and making sure that we are happy with what we are charging. And today we are talking about strategies that we can use to elevate ourselves. So I'm going to talk about leveraging time, leveraging relationships, leveraging money, because there's so many things that we have. They're like tools that we don't really think about, but they have power when we use them in the right way. So I know you dropped a roadblock in the Facebook group, Sharon. We'll get to that at the end. And I'm hoping that actually some of the things we speak about this session might already start to give you ideas on how to deal with that. I'm going to add leveraging skill sets to the list because that will be very important for you. Okay, so mentoring. What is your experience with mentoring so far? Have you had any sort of mentors at all? Actually, let me record this.
Recording in progress.
Anyone? Sharon, do you have any past mentoring relationships? Okay, do you want to tell me about them?
I've had one mentor.
Okay.
I think I still have. I just don't meet with them very often.
Okay.
Because I do have to pay for the mentorship,
and
it's expensive for me.
Yeah.
Totally worth it, but he's a music producer, and he puts out amazing stuff.
Okay. Do I know him?
Yeah, probably. So can you make Matt McLeod?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I do know him.
So he's my mentor, and been really helpful. Really, really easy person to get along with.
Okay.
Very patient. He explains things.
Okay.
In a way that I can understand.
Okay. Did you go through a structured program with him?
The first sessions were more structured. But mostly it's usually if I have questions.
Okay.
Or I'm presenting a project to him and saying, how do I make this sound good?
Yeah.
How do I make this better?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right, George. Any past mentoring relationships?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Okay. So mentoring. mentoring is something that that I've experienced in multiple ways over the years. And when I first started to look into it, it was essentially go to someone who you respected and who had gone through or walked through the path that you wanted to. So essentially, my first ever mentor was a pediatrician. She was married with children, and she was a really good Christian, and was also a leader of a Christian women's group as well. So she ticked a lot of boxes for me. And I was like, oh my goodness, I want to be like you when I grew up. Can you hold my hand and walk me through, what you've done so far? And she was happy to, but it was a very informal, unstructured relationship, because she essentially said, look, you'll have to take the lead. If you have any questions, then you come to me. I'm not going to be the one calling you and checking in on you and asking you where you are. And I was like, sure, fine. So because of that, it was very limited. What I actually learned from her was limited, apart from the group meetings I attended where she led her women, So that is one kind of relationship. And then I've experienced, I suppose with COVID, the way we changed, the way we learned changed, because a lot of things went online. I was able to learn from a lot of people without actually ever meeting them. But there were also mentoring relationships, because they will tell you exactly what you need to do to get to where you want to be. And some of it was paid, some of it was unpaid. So even like podcasts, Facebook groups. I was talking about challenges that I attended, that I learned a lot. And actually, there's this lady who I've followed, and I've bought multiple coaching programs from her. And it was because when I attended the first challenge of hers that I attended, I was blown away. She communicates powerfully. She looks like she's meant to be doing this. She has a Facebook group that is filled with, like, oh my God, thousands, like 5 figures, maybe 60,000, like a large Facebook group. And she says she can't do challenges in there anymore because things get lost very quickly. So when she has the new challenge, she opens up a new group, and it's very quickly filled with women, like like multiple women. And one thing that she did that, oh my God, blew me away was she was teaching in a challenge just like this. And she'll be talking. She talks in a very energetic way as well, which I really admired. I mean, I try, but I don't think I can ever be like her. I'm more like a chill person, no matter what I do, right? But she's like, and she does it effortlessly, And then she was talking, I don't even remember if she was talking about a program she was hoping to sell, but someone put something in the chat, and it was negative. And the person said something like how maybe all they really want to do is to, maybe all coaches like her want to do is to sell. I don't remember what the person actually said, but it was obvious that the person didn't really want to be there. And she actually said, whoever, that person that just put that comment, you can just leave now. She was like, because I only really want people that want to be here to be here. You of us who don't want to be here, so you can just leave. And I was like, oh. And I was like, but it's true, and she, when she sold, oh my goodness, you did not feel like someone was just trying to take money off you. You did not feel that way at all. And I admired her so much that I bought multiple things from her. And I just keep going back, because I looked at her and I said, you know what, in a couple of years, I want to be like this. And I think that is what mentorship does. You see someone, there's something you admire about them, and you're like, I want to be like you. And the more time you spend with them, you actually pick up a lot of their attributes. You actually do. I learned something over the last year, this saying that really stuck with me. Your net worth is the sum of everyone that you surround yourself with. So I told you that I have been to several training programs. There is this there's Sandra Lamb is not here. She said, was she the one that said she wanted to go into properties? Yeah, she was the one that said that yesterday. So there's this company called Progressive Properties, or is it Progressive Success? And they have multiple arms. And I think the first thing they were known for was teaching people to invest in properties and growing their business that way. So that's the first thing they are known for. And then they've branched out into so many things. So I've gone to them for like a business school. I actually went last Monday to Thursday to a business school that they ran. Paid thousands for it, but I was like, this is worth it because I'm going into business. I know nothing about business. And then I'm doing several courses with them. But a lot of the people that train there are millionaires. I know that because when you read their stories, you know, and sometimes when they're teaching, they tell you their stories, how they started, and how they've grown. And it just made me think the net worth of the people you surround yourself with, that becomes your net worth, because you spend enough time with them, you pick things up. Your thinking begins to change. This is, people that I've met briefly, but even my journey over the last year. So I told you how I came on into the start of the year and I was like, oh my God, I know nothing about business. Okay, now I'm comfortable with my music, but I know nothing about business. I don't even know how to sell a freebie. It's meant to be free and I don't know how to get people to read it. So I started to go online. And when I first started, I'll see all these people saying, oh, buy my course for thousands. I'm like, what are these people talking? What are they drinking? What's in their coffee? And then I'll hear them say, this is thousands. And I'm like, oh, here's another one. And then it happened so much that I started to say, well, there's a pattern here because I'm not seeing anyone that's selling something useful to me that I can afford. It's all in the thousands. What's going on? And then I started to look into it and started to ask questions. Why? Why? What exactly are they doing? What are they doing? Why is it so expensive? And the more I looked into it, I began to understand. And it's because they are all teaching strategies that when you employ the strategies they teach you, you will earn thousands. If you're going to actually earn thousands from what they teach you, they're not going to sell it for a small amount. It's literally because of what they're selling. And over the months, my mindset began to shift and it began to shift. And I was like, this is interesting. This is not how I started this year, This is not how, and that is just spending time with people online without even meeting them, So there's something that happens when you spend time with people, That is just talking about relationships. They might not actually even have a one-on-one relationship with you. They might not. But spend enough time with them and you begin to learn a lot. So things just begin to happen. So that is mentoring. Coaching is similar, but coaches, there is all kinds of coaching, right? And there are all types of coaches. I will say it is more structured. People won't just say, let me coach you and not have a program. Most coaching programs have structure. They have a program that they coach you through. Some of them, depending on what kind of coaching it is, many of them are trained. So when I first started to look into it, I obviously didn't have any training at all. I'm currently in a coaching program for coaches. So they teach us the skills, how to listen, how to coach. But because even from that, there are different levels. It could start by just listening. You might be a really good listener. And just by being a really good listener, you're able to pick out, the subtleties of what people are saying, things that they are saying but not really saying. And you're able to actually get to the root cause of what is going on and how to help them. So there are different levels, but coaching, I would say, is more structured. And coaches, you will pay for them. unlike mentoring where it depends. I will say though that I've lost my train of thoughts. I will say though that every single person needs coaches. I remember a story where, who's this runner? What's his name? Can you see what I'm doing? Won the World Cup for sprinting. This African runner. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure someone will say the name real soon. But he was there were two people talking, and a producer who I'm working with currently, he was talking to his mentor, and he was like, I'm thinking of getting coaching in this area. And the person was like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you thinking about it? And he's like, did you think this sprinter has a coach? And he was like, of course he has a coach. Why don't he have a coach? And it was like, if he did, what makes you different? But essentially, think about it. All the extraordinary people we know, do they have coaches? Now, these people have made it. They're not like us. They've made it, and they still have coaches. So why would we think we'll get by without coaches? Hi, Karen. Good to see you. So every single person needs a coach, especially if you want to really make headway. If there's something you want to do and you want to do it well, you'll need a coach. Another reason is if you think of a business, you as the CEO of your business, you're in the middle, right? And you have maybe your staff and all the different parts of your business, and there's a problem in your business. There's a good chance that you won't be able to see it because you are in the business. It's going to be someone outside. That's why they bring in consultants, because it's someone who's outside who looks at it objectively. They're the ones who actually see the problem. So each and every one of us, we need mentors, we need coaches. I've talked about the different ways we can get this. There's multiple Facebook groups. And the AI thing, it gets me every time, but it's real, right? It's real because you type in something. I don't even know if you even need to type it into Facebook. But there was one time I was thinking I was going to try my hand at working with a social media manager or a virtual assistant. And I don't remember how I started to look for it, but I know that I started to receive messages all of a sudden on Instagram, Messenger. Hi, I'm a virtual assistant. I'm looking for, and I was like, what is happening? But you search for something and you begin to just see them in groups. They all just start popping up on your Facebook group. So you have an interest in an area, just search for it. I guarantee you'll start seeing multiple groups. Obviously, some groups are better than others. Some of them have grown over the years and nothing is really happening. But you could hit the jackpot like I did and get to the Facebook group of this lady that I was talking about who is really good, and say, wow, I love this person. I love what they do. I love how they teach. You could hit the jackpot and meet a Facebook group like that. But like Facebook groups are definitely a way to go. Podcasts, so many podcasts on multiple topics. Just search for them, you will find them. Audiobooks, books, and communities. There are lots of them out there. Even YouTube, because people now drop, like I'm doing. So I'm coaching, but I'm recording. And today I've actually started to send it straight to YouTube as well. So many people that do this also have YouTube channels that they populate their sessions with. So you'll search for any topic on YouTube and they will come up as well. So these are non-expensive ways that we could find mentors, find coaches, and start to learn. And these are obviously when we can't yet afford to get one-on-one help or more structured and personalized help. Yeah. Talked about external pair of eyes. Yes. Now, I wanted to talk about leverage. So I think I started to refer to this yesterday. What leverage? So at the start of the year, I remember thinking to myself that I needed to cut back on work. I needed more time so that I could do more with my music. So I went to 4 days a week. And I remember thinking, ooh, my pay has dropped massively than I thought it would. I was like, and then I had to start picking up some extra shifts. But then what happened was that actually, because I had an extra day than I did before, I was able to pick up more shifts that will pay me even more, and therefore earn more than I was earning before when I was working full time. Does that make sense? So that's like leveraging time, because there are all sorts of shifts. There are day shifts, there are night shifts, and it's actually funny, but you will think night shifts will pay more. Night shifts don't necessarily pay more. I don't know how it works, but if I picked up a Saturday shift, that will very, very nearly put me over what I would have earned if I was not working full time. So there's a way to leverage your time. Another way of thinking about it is, if you are the CEO of your company, but you were having to spend a lot of time writing emails, posting on social media, there's a lot of things that are time consuming that you don't necessarily need to do, and they will take you away from the real work you need to do. So for example, if you were coaching a client and they were paying you hundreds of pounds or dollars, you could have spent that same hour sending emails out, or can you imagine the difference? So leveraging your time is really important, and it's looking at activities that are time consuming that you were doing and seeing if there was a way that someone could take that off your hand so you could bring in more income, and that income will cover the cost of whoever was needing to do those jobs. So that is leveraging your time. That is something that we can all look into, and it could even fall to cooking, housework, cleaning, all those sort of things. Like I try to do very little posting currently. I just type on my phone what I want to post. My social media manager has access to all my photo shoots, pictures. She has access to a lot of things. I just send her like what I want to say, and she makes it beautiful. She does a picture, she does something really pretty. Those are things that I will never dream, even if I tried. I wouldn't be able to do it as well as she could. So she's worth every penny. And that way I can focus on other things. Or sometimes she will even send me something and I'll just edit it. So that is a way of leveraging your time. There's multiple ways, but those are things to think about. Next, leveraging relationships. And these will cover all sorts of relationships. So it could be community, it could be business partners, going into a joint venture with someone. There was actually someone who I tried to do that with. So for this challenge, I talked to a couple of people who, would you mind sending out my email marketing emails for this event to your email lists, and we could enter into some sort of partnership, because if I have enough signups, we might be able to do something, where we both benefit. And someone agreed. The other said, not really, now it's not the right time. But but partnerships like that, joint ventures, are a massive way to grow. One way I've also seen it is summits, events. So I've signed on to multiple summits, multiple conferences, multiple events where different people spoke. And sometimes how I heard about these events where I might follow someone who has been asked to speak at that event. So they say, okay, hi guys, I'm speaking on this event. You can come watch me. This is the time. Sign on. And you get on, and then you meet a massive amount of people. And then you start knowing them. And then if some of them is selling something you like, or you just like them, you follow them, So leveraging relationships like that will grow your email list massively, because if you liked them and say you signed up for their freebie, they've gained you as a follower, right? So that is another really, really good way of growing. So for example, Sharon, you work with Matt, who's a producer. You might be able to do something together. Maybe some sort of teaching series about producing. It's just thinking outside the box sometimes, because it's almost like borrowing their their expertise, because a lot of people might know him, but you're new to them. So you've essentially gained a reputation now for being a producer, and it could be that they come to you because you're cheaper compared to him. I think I actually asked him recently that, oh, Matt, I want you to produce some of my songs next year. And I was like, how much is it? And the amount he told me, I was like, oh, but you might be able to get more people coming to you because you're way less expensive than he is. But this is what I'm talking about. You can essentially borrow people's expertise because they lend you, their reputation by working with you. So that is leveraging relationships. Another way was collaborating. So one of my coaches from last year kept talking about collaboration, and how it really helps you take off. It really does. So I came into this year and I signed on with an independent label at the end of last year. And I told them straight up, this year I need to do a collaboration. And they were like, fine. So I got into the year and I was like, oh, who? And I sort of knew who I wanted to work with. I wanted to work with a lady called Sarah Table. She's a UK artist. She's been doing this for about 7-8 years now. She's an accountant, so working full-time, has 2 children like me, and is still kicking ass as a musician, as a gospel artist. She worked with Fred Hammond some years ago, did a song with him, did a music video with him, and it took off. So I was like, I already have a little bit of a relationship with this lady. It would be amazing if I can work with her this year. And one time she put on Facebook and said, oh, I'm available for any co-writes, if anyone's available. And I was like, oh, this is a sign. And I quickly messaged her saying, Sarah, I really want to do a co-write with you. So we met up on Facebook Messenger, and I talked to her about the song I was writing at that time, and it was like a little bit of a country song. I think Karen, you probably know about it because I put it on the group at some point. So Karen is part of my community group as well, that we are KMA. So Sharon, you know KMA, but George, KMA is a Kingdom Music Academy. So it's a community of Christian artists that I belong to as well. But I remember telling, singing the song for her, sending her the lyrics, and she was like, I don't know. I think we should change the title. I was like, okay, this is not really landing as well as I wanted it to. So we packed it there, and I went back and I got an idea for another song. I was like, actually, I think this song is better. I think she will go with this one. So I sent to her, and she was like, yes, this is good. And then she wrote the second verse of the song. And then we did it together. I was hoping that she would actually do the video with me, but she didn't have time to do a video. So I've done a video separately with the band, and I'm going to have to release a what's an alternate version, a remix version, so I can release that video. But this song, I wasn't getting a lot of streams on iTunes. Maybe because I wasn't marketing on iTunes. I think everyone is really focused on Spotify these days. And I don't know. The song was definitely different because I was singing with someone else. But I think just having her as a co-artist on a song, I all of a sudden started to get way more streams on iTunes. And it's funny, they will stream you and then they will go look for your other song and stream your other songs. So I wasn't just getting this song streamed on iTunes. I was actually getting other songs streaming on iTunes for the first time. And for the first time, I pitched to Submit Hub. And I think maybe like 60% of people I pitched to said yes. There is definitely power in leveraging relationships. There is definitely power in collaborations. And we are not doing it enough. There is so much that we can get out of working with other people, in partnership with other people. So leveraging relationships, really important. The other thing I want to do is talk about leveraging money. And this is something that, you know, we're always scared, like, oh, I don't want to throw away money. I mean, I don't even have enough. I don't want to have enough of it. But that's why it's called an investment, right? So I'm going to talk about how like the program that I have come up with now that I'm going to be coaching moving on. But there's going to be a lot of leveraging money in it because that's what we do when we run ads, right? Let me just bring up the chat. Yeah. So Sharon has said it takes a certain amount of self-confidence to ask. Absolutely, it's true. But you have to start with somewhere. And you need to remember that many of us might have fear. We might have a level of, you know, would be, is it, the word is not vulnerable, is it? We have a, yes. The word is at the tip of my mouth. You don't feel confident enough. If you feel like exposed, you feel like it's more obvious that you are not a good enough singer compared to this person. And it's more obvious because your voice is right next to the person's. But you do it anyway because even them have the struggles as well. They do. I've heard her sing sometimes and I'm like, oh, you know, that probably wasn't, you know, but she's great. Like, you hear other songs and she's amazing. There's this person who is a voice trainer, Rachel Kerr. I don't know if you guys know her. She's also quite popular, but she's sort of I think from Caribbean or has lived here forever, but she's like a mobile award-winning singer. And she's also trained she's trained Tiwa Savage in voice training, George. She's a voice trainer, like a celebrity voice trainer. And I remember I worked once with her. She came to voice coach me, intimidation, yeah. She came to voice coach me during one of my songs. And I was like, oh my God, the song came out perfect. She does it really well. And then I heard her sing during the last award ceremony I went for. I'm like, oh my goodness, her voice is cracking. Everyone has times where, you know, things are not as smooth sailing as they are. You just need to remember that all of us are human, but we just need to step out anyways. We just need to take that step and just do it. And I heard about there's this guy. Oh, I'm gonna forget his name now. He's really big as well. He's also a Christian, but he does Christian rock. And he's known to a lot of people that are not even Christians. He's also a music coach. And he was talking about how he used to feel intimidated when he started to co-write with people. And that sometimes he'll be in a co-write and it's like magic. These people are just writing and he just sits back and watch it happen. It's like, I can't measure up. But if he can say that, that means, and that's the beauty of collaborating, because you're also there to learn, right? Like co-writers, we grow when we co-write with people, because people write differently. So you're hoping to also learn from them, you know? If you're not working with someone who is better than you, then how are you gonna learn? You know? So I was like, okay, this guy can say this, and he's written like 10 books, and he was saying that on the podcast. And I was like, okay, if you can say it, then they are all human. Don't forget that. You know, step out and ask people to collaborate with you. So yes, where was I? Yeah, you need to remind me where I was now before I start talking about intimidation. Yes, leveraging money. Thank you, George. So, things like Facebook ads, things like funnels, you know. So Facebook ads, I've heard a lot about them. I'm sure you have. And it can be tricky to master. It can be tricky to run. It can even be intimidating. Because all technology, let's face it, can be intimidating, especially when you're doing it for the first time. So I ran a little bit of a Facebook ad sometime last year, I think. And that was from being trained by someone. It didn't go as well as I wanted it, so I stopped it, and I never went back. And then this year, I've been meaning to start up again. And then I started to run a Facebook ad to get leads for this new program and for this Dreaming Challenge. And the first couple of ads, there was nothing, no engagement at all. I was like, what is going on? They said post multiple things so you can tell the one that's doing better. Well, I posted a picture, and I posted a video of me talking, and both of them, nothing was happening. I was like, oh my God, what is happening? And then I saw an ad of someone talking about Facebook ads. So I went to a bit of a challenge, and the challenge, the way that person was teaching how to run Facebook ads, he said, don't send them to your website. Do a form on Facebook that they can fill. Then you connect that form to your website, because they always say getting people off Facebook will be really expensive, and that ad won't do really well, or you probably have to spend a lot of money for that ad to do well. And I was like, nah, in the past, I've not had to do this. I'm going to do it my way. So the first 2 ads that I ran, I connected them to my website, and nothing was happening. And then I also came across another Facebook ad where an expert was taking was getting people to book strategy calls with him. And I did. And some people stop themselves from even booking all of this. Like, you're probably going to sell something to me. I'm not interested. But I did. I was like, hey, look, I'm currently running an ad. It's not doing really well. He was like, well, I stalked you on on the web before this meeting, and I saw that you have a lot happening. I was like, yes, I do. And he's like, well, actually, the problem might be you're not aggressive enough. And he made me change it to like, this is for you if you're this, and together we'll do this. And he just made me, and then I was like, actually, I'm going to do that. But I've actually just realized as well that the other videos that have done really well for me are music videos. People love watching music videos. They just see you all glammed up and all with your makeup and with a lovely background, and then they just watch it. So I'm like, okay, that's it. That's an interesting thing to note. And then I took the knowledge from the other Facebook challenge and learned how to do the form on Facebook. So these 3 changes, I went back and redid the Facebook ad. And for the first couple of days, I wasn't really seeing anything. Lots of people were watching, and I was getting, oh, I'm interested. Oh, I'm interested. And I was like, oh, that's great. Sign up. And then all of a sudden, I went to check, and saw 200 leads. Over 200 people had given me their names and emails. Yeah. So think about it. How much was I spending? Gosh, I don't think I spent up to £30 for that to happen. All of these people are cold leads, so they don't really know me. They just saw a girl singing about victory, and the ad said, if you want to be doing this in a year's time, click here. So they're probably all aspiring musicians and said, that sounds interesting. So I was really aggressive in saying that if you want to be this person in a year's time, but it worked. It did. So I don't know how I would have actually had the email of 200 people if I did not spend £30. So sometimes it's actually worth spending money to get things, because now I have this list of 200 people that I can email whenever my songs come out. Hey, go listen. The song is here. Oh, I have this training on this if you're interested. And some of them have actually emailed me about their music. They actually have. But I'm going to have to warm them up for them to actually want to spend a Sunday night with me on Zoom. But that is another thing to learn. There is cold leads, people that don't really know you at all. You're going to have to spend some time educating them and getting to know them before they ever buy anything off you. And that will be including giving you some of their time, But that is just, it's important to note that sometimes you need to spend money to make progress. And that's just the way of doing it. So I know now that I can grow my email list grew from 150 to 400 and something, and now MailChimp is warning me I'm only paying for 500 members, and it's warning me you're gonna have to start paying more soon. And I'm like, okay, this was a problem that I didn't have before. But yes, we can grow our email list, and therefore we can grow our businesses. We can grow our audience. If you can grow your email list, you can grow your audience on YouTube. You can grow your audience, because all you need to do is just run a YouTube ad. It works. Run a Spotify ad. It works. And there are teachings on all of these things. So that is leveraging money. And I mean, think about it. The amount of things I've done to grow, to learn what are you doing? What are you doing? And this challenge, this is not what I had in mind. I was like, there are 200 leads. Wow. This is going to be great. And then I was like, oh yeah, they're cold leads. Okay, I need to go back to ask people, how are you warming up your leads? How exactly are you getting all of these people to come to watch you live? Because I attend challenges, and there's like more. You can see the numbers, like there are a lot of people. How? And it can take time. It takes time, persistence. But I see some of these people, they run these challenges like every couple of months, every 3 months, and it's value. They're not doing the same challenges. They're teaching. So they're giving value for free on multiple topics. And you're wondering, wait, how are you making money if you're giving away all your secrets? But actually, no. What I think is, if this is this good, I want to work with you. And we see that over and over again. Someone said that when he gives talks, some people actually just go and say, whatever is selling, I want it. They actually do that. And then some people at the end be like, oh, I just bought your course. What's it about again? Like, they have no idea what they just bought. They're like, if it's this good, I want more. So that is, you can definitely grow in multiple ways. And I think the last one I want to talk about was leveraging skill sets. So Sharon, you were talking about how that you have this skill. You don't know if it's something you want to do for a long time, but it's a skill you can monetize. You currently do not have a working equipment? Well, there is this thing called I'm not going to remember the name. You can sell a program without even having the equipment, and you selling it will fund getting the equipment. Do you understand? So you could essentially see if you can get. Are you all right, Sharon? Do you need to? Okay. You can essentially see if you can get some clients. You know you can do it. Get them to book you for a couple of songs, take their money, and get the laptop you need. Yeah. So there are launches that I cannot remember the name, but there are several ways to launch. But there are launches where people offer a product, and it could be a program. I'm going to train you to do this, but they've actually not made the program. Then they take the money and go make the program. So that is definitely something you can do. And your skill is an asset. The fact that you're using your production skills does not mean you're locking yourself into producing full time. You're just leveraging it for now. It's a skill that you can use. No one can take it away from you. And you can use it as long or as little as you want, but it's a skill. Right? So tomorrow I'm going to tell you about my story. I'm going to tell you about what has happened over the last year to get me to where I am. But I have a program that I'm going to be selling, and there are different levels. But the last time that I did a program and I coached around music, I remember asking at the end, I was like, oh, has this been helpful? And someone said, oh, maybe I think I knew all of this before. And they teach all of this in KMA. I was like, okay, good. So I had my homework and I went to find things they don't teach in KMA. So the plan is hopefully this will be relevant. And it will be relevant because I know, Karen, I don't know how, I feel like being an author is probably more at the forefront for you than your music currently. Is that right?
At least for the next few months.
At least for the next few months. Well, I think it's going to help you as well. It's going to help you as well because the same way that we grow our audience for music is gonna be what you do as well. So I think it'll be relevant for you. Do we have any questions? I know it's a Sunday night. Well, for Karen, it's like afternoon for you. Here is a Sunday night. I don't want to keep you for much longer. Do we have any questions?
Can I talk?
Yes, you can.
Give us some insight on the program you're trying to advise your colleague or your friend on how you will sell without having any money, and then you use the money to pay for whatever they're going to do for you. So I want you to break it down. I didn't really get what you were trying to tell me.
Okay.
Please break it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could set up something like this. So are you okay? So she's a producer. So Karen might not, Sharon might not be able to use exactly what I'm saying, but I'm going to tell you about that style of launching. So it's like coaching, for example. You create the program that you want to coach. Let me take you to my website. Now this is my old coaching program, but I'll be able to explain with my website. Just 1 second. Share screen. All right. Can you see Abia Guinea the best you can?
Yeah.
Okay. So this was my old program. And I will take people through modules, right? So I took through clients. I took 2 clients through this program. Building the right foundation. So we went to knowing your vision, knowing what you want to do at the background, in the background of your music, what you want to leave with people. So if you watch any of my videos, all of them will end with Abia Guinea music. Given contagious joy and persevering faith. And that was from when I did this module myself with my coach, because he talked about values. What are your values? What do you want your values to be? And then moving to 2, starting to set up your business. Essentially, as musicians, the only way that we can really say we're a business is if we're offering something for people to buy and we're delivering some sort of service or product. And just to think outside the box, how we can create a business that is profitable around our music. And then songwriting, because that's our first product. We want to make sure we're comfortable with it. Music production. This is not how to produce, but how to find the right producer for you. And then things about studio, music artwork, how to submit their music, how to start and grow their email list, marketing, getting paid, and building a team. So if you think about what you want to coach or what you want to sell and break it down, right? And then it's really helpful knowing who your ideal customer is. That's another thing we can talk about. But you need to use the right words when you're selling to them. And then it'll be really good to give value first, right? So give value first. And then after you've done all of that, say, if you sign up with me, this is what I want to go through with you. And this is how it's going to help you. And they pay you before you actually even deliver the coaching. So it's the same way, isn't it? So all my producers, well, some of them I actually pay at the end, but many people you will pay upfront, or you will pay half upfront, something like that.
Yeah.
So what I've seen a lot of people do is they say they give you extra incentive for paying the full amount. They might say, if you pay the full amount in a couple of days, I'm gonna do this for you. Karen, what would you say?
Bonuses.
Yes, absolutely, bonuses. So that way people don't even have to pay in installments. And if they're saving money, so for example, if people were going to use a credit card, they can pay it all knowing that it's going to be less money they're paying back. So it is doable, George. Very, very doable. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. 100.
Yeah. So let me leave you with a story. Are there any other questions?
I'll just make a comment maybe that I was in the artist writing program. And one of her things, and she was talking about, I'm doing the thus and such next week. And I haven't even written it yet. I'm going to do that this weekend. And so it's
absolutely, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Go along. They don't know it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I know that I know what I want to teach. I know what I want to go through. I just haven't made the page yet. I haven't made the source page. That's my job tonight. Well, I know, and it is going to be a game changer, because we're talking of how we can automate growth, how we can automate sales. There is so much in there. It's just gonna get you really organized. So Karen, if you watched the replay from yesterday, you will know we talked about different products, right? Did you watch it yet? Yeah. So we're talking about books and all that. We'll put all of that automated. So when we add these people that are signing up from our ads, we add them to funnels and it warms them up. So I've received emails where someone's there talking about some sort of program they had. And they will tell you about all the lovely, things the program will do for you. And then it will say, for the next week, I'm offering it half price, right? And then this is the link. Visit it, get it. And then the next day, they will talk about something else. And maybe... No, I don't know. Have you ever done a series, an email series? So there is like welcome series, there is nurture series, and all of that. We'll be talking about all of that, by the way. But there is a sales series. You talk about different things about the sales, and you even include the most asked questions. So one email could say the most asked questions about the products, and it will answer all of the questions before you even ask it. Another one will talk about the common objections to buying it. Oh, okay, I don't have the money. Well, that's fine. There is an extended payment plan. These are the details. If you say you don't have time, don't worry. It's a study as you in your own time, If you say you don't have this, I got you. They give you all of those answers. And then the end of the emails, is reminding you that it goes back to full price at the end of the week, and people pay. They buy it because you've warmed them up. You've given them multiple incentives. You've answered their questions. They will buy it. So just think about the different products that you can offer and having all of that automated. So new people that are joining your community will go through different funnels, and they'll go through different products that way. So we'll be talking about it as well. We'll be talking about the different ways how to. So I've learned, I have an email list now, and I've set up my welcome series, and it took a while to do it because there are multiple stages, and technology is just intimidating, and just the thought of it alone actually stops you from doing it. Seriously. And sometimes I wish there was someone I could just say, can we sit together and get this done? And I'm offering that on the course. If you're pulling out your hair, part of the course is going to be, let's do it together, because sometimes even one time I was traveling 2 hours away for a course on a Saturday, and Friday night I was doing my first marketing Facebook ad, and for some reason every time I tried to upload the video, it wouldn't upload. I went to bed 3 a.m. because I was like, today I'm running this ad. I'm running this ad. I kept trying different things, and then I finally, the video wouldn't upload. Then I actually did a post with the video and then ran the post, and then that way. So I found a way to bypass all of the issues. And then I said upload, run ad, and it still wouldn't run. So I left the laptop on because I was sick. The circle was just going round and round, and I went to bed. And I drove to the course, drove back that night, and it still wasn't working. Then I switched off and on my laptop, and it just went. all I needed to do was switch off and on my laptop. And it just posted. So the next time I was trying to run an ad and was doing that, guess what I did? I just switched off and on my laptop and it posted straight away. So there's some things that, you're like, what is going on? And it could be something real simple. But, just imagine if there was someone I could call. I'm about to murder my laptop. Can you help me with this? Why is this not working? All of that is going to be in the program because we're going to be doing all of this. We're going to be doing it. So yeah, I'll talk more about that tomorrow. It's 10 p.m. I don't want to keep you. School run early in the morning. So I'm going to let you guys go. But yeah, I'm hoping you can make tomorrow because we'll dive a little bit deeper into this. All right. Any questions before we go? All right. Thank you, ladies, so much for coming. And thank you, George, for coming out tonight. I'm going to let you go. Take care. Bye.
Recording stuff.
Thanks, Instagram. And thanks, Facebook.